was researching my husband's great-grandmother, the one that had married Howard. And those of you that got to hear my talk, it's his wife. And I was just working as you do with, I don't know whether you want to call it Dr. Google or Mr. Google. Anyway, it's my friend Google. I like Google. And I put her name in, and up came a research article written by a chap in Tasmania about her. Hello, yes, exactly. And he was interested in the history of particularly organic agriculture. And that was one of the things that she devoted quite a lot of her life to doing. She actually went into something that was actually way beyond that. It was following Rudolf Steiner, who believed that you have to plant your plants according to the phases of the moon. And when she was living at Bray near London, she apparently, according to a book on the history of Bray, was notorious for going up and down the street telling everybody when they should be planting their beans, which I think is quite entertaining. Anyway, I got in touch with the chap in Tasmania, and since then we've done some work on this. And actually, he's still working in the university, and we've got a research article out about Marna. So I'm rather pleased about that. If anybody wants to know, she's not from a Quaker background. He married out of the faith, did Howard. But nevertheless, it's quite an interesting story. And I never thought of, I mean, I know you're all fabulous in Tasmania and having a very cozy, warm time of it there, but just how weird is that? You just find somebody, and he got a picture of her, which I'd never seen. So we've been able to merge pictures and merge information and get stuff about Bray and look at when she was living up at Otterburn. So it's been a really nice, productive thing. I just thought it's a bit Eureka-ish, and it's courtesy of Google. Never underestimate Google. That's my one Eureka moment. I've got a number of others, but they go back pre-2023. So, I mean, it's just a coincidence. You couldn't get much further away from where we are in Tynemouth in terms of the whole planet. I mean, I guess you're nearly diagonally opposite us. So, just think it's quite nice, really. They did start in North, in Ayton and round there, Welbury in Yorkshire, and then moved to London as tinplate workers, where one of them then married one of the Peases, because otherwise they wouldn't have met them. But it now looks like Ben, hello, relative. What you find out at a Quaker meeting is not to be sniffed at. Yeah. There's a fabulous book called The Richardsons of Cleveland, and it's got about 9 different family trees in the back. And the Richardsons, of course, like all the other Quaker families that I know about, were huge in number and intermarried like it was going out of style. So we've got Richardsons coming into the family, including a Richardson marrying another Richardson that I think probably they weren't closely related to, and then a third one appearing, all intermarrying and all sort of descending downwards. But it's huge. I've already put on just the little bunch of Richardsons that were near us in North Shields, because some of them moved up to North Shields, and there were tanners. And I've already put 200 of them on my family tree software, just the low light North Shields Richardsons. That's not including all the squillions of others that there are. One of the things in my talk that I discovered when I was preparing it was that Howard Pease, David's great-grandfather, had 58 first cousins, and then another pile of second and third, and then sixth cousins as well. I mean, you just can't make it up, and trying to sort them out. The software does it because, I don't know, I guess most of you have got some sort of family history software, but it'll do these sort of, I don't know what they're called. I call them hyperlinks. So you can marry somebody to somebody else that's on the tree. You can pull them off and marry them with each other. And that's so, if you get it right, if you get it wrong, you've messed up your family tree. It's very clever what it can do, because I've got sisters marrying cousins and goodness knows what else. In fact, on the Pease side, that's exactly what I've got. Sisters marrying, in one case, a business partner, and two of her other sisters marrying the two cousins. It's quite frightening. I know probably more than any normal person should about the Peases, but then with Charles being a member of the society, that he reminds me that he is related to my husband 9 different ways. Yeah, I think we're probably all into at least those of you here that have got any amount of Quaker ancestry. I can't see you not being related. Can I stick a plug in here? I've got a new little part-time job, and it is editing a magazine. And the magazine is called Magna, and it's the magazine for the Friends of the National Archive. And I've only done one edition so far. I'm currently preparing the second one, and I've written a small article there, which will be quite pictorial, and it's based on some of the Quaker women in David's family that went on jolly jaunts across to America preaching and all the rest of it, which in the days they were doing that was like unknown. I mean, women just did not have those rights. Would writing it up a bit longer or producing some more pictures be something people would be interested in? Or I could submit a longer version to the Quaker Connections Journal as well, if anybody thinks that would be of any great value. But I was totally impressed by the women, I have to say.